Yeah.
It's Saturday. You're running 2 jobs.
Yeah.
And you're running another one tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, this is not good. This is not what I thought we were signing up for. And then later I connected with Sasha, and she had a conversation with him. I was like, hey, by the way, did you know that he works like 16-hour days? And I was like, did you know he works on the weekends?
Yeah.
Like, we're like 3 weeks away from closing on this business. Hearing that you can buy a business, which was news to me. I didn't even think that is something you could do. He didn't have very good advice on how to price either. It was kind of like a finger in the air kind of thing. This town, you maybe get $500 a square.
Did you realize you were underpriced?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the first things we changed. Is we are way underpriced. Like, this is what other companies are getting. I was like, what? Are you kidding? So we started doing one call closes, which was really cool. Like, yeah, you do the whole thing, you do the inspection, you go through the presentation, and then they sign and give you a check. And it's like, what? So cool. In 2025, I did $2 million.
$2 million, that's fantastic. Which in terms of our lexicon at CertainPath, it makes you a roofing crown champion.
When I sat down with the wife at 4 o'clock, she said, no one else went in the attic, no one else on the roof, and no one else sat down to talk to me. You should know this. It's actually 100% owned by her. I don't actually own the company.
Yeah.
So I say it's 100% woman owned. She owns the company.
Yeah.
Sometimes I call her a badass. Like I say, make jokes like I'm just cheap labor, and people laugh at that stuff.
Have you put a 5-year goal or plan in place?
Yeah, she wants I don't know if it's 5 years or less than that, but she wants 10 million and then more and beyond.
Tim, thank you so much for being here. Greatly appreciate it. For those who haven't met you at an expo or a training yet, could you share with everyone your name, your company name, where you guys are located?
Sure, and Bob, thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure.
My name is Tim Wilde. I work for Sexton Roofing. Actually, my wife and I own Sexton Roofing.
Yeah.
We're out of Western Massachusetts, about an hour and a half from the convention here, the expo here.
Very good. Very good. We're talking for a great reason. Business is really good. Personally, you're doing really well. Actually, let's start with the business side. How's it? Because you guys, you took it over in what year?
We bought the company in 2023. So
in 2020,
we're coming up on 3 years now.
3 years from now. What did the business look like at that point?
So the business before we bought it was a single operator.
Okay.
With subcontractors. He did it all himself with a little bit of help from his grandson.
Okay.
So it was kind of a one-man show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. But how was it in terms of revenue?
They're about he was doing $2 million
Okay.
by himself.
By himself.
Pretty impressive. We didn't realize how much work it was to do just $2 million
by yourself.
By yourself.
For sure.
We found out real quick though.
Yeah. So what did you guys end up doing last year in 25?
2025, we were just over 4.
Just over, what's that?
4 million.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great growth in a short period of time.
Yeah.
Profitable, hitting the margins you want to hit.
Yes, actually, we have really good margins. Honestly, because of the direction from CertainPath, realizing that we could, that we should be hitting higher margins and trying for bigger tickets, really helped us get our margins at really. We had no idea what a good margin was and what we should even be going after.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's super exciting. And then not only did the company do well, as the owner, you're selling, right? And that's where I reached out to you, wanted to learn. You did what personally in terms of sales?
In 2025, I did $2 million.
$2 million, that's fantastic. Which in terms of our lexicon at CertainPath, it makes you a roofing crown champion.
That's right, yeah.
And I want to learn all about your sales process, and we'll get into that. But I love learning stories and figuring out how people got to where they are today. And yours is a very unique one, as I was chatting with you before I hit record. Because it's not like you grew up in the roofing business. Like you said, you bought this roofing business.
That's right, yes.
So kind of share with everyone your background. Maybe right after college, right? You started in the corporate world?
Yeah, I had kind of a slow start. I was not ambitious, but call centers, I was a lifty at a ski mountain. But eventually I got into the corporate world after a few years. And I found my way into consulting in the pharmaceutical industry, very small boutique consulting company out of Boston.
Okay. How did you find that, by the way?
I was recruited. The owner found me on LinkedIn, and he sent me a message that was unlike all the other messages you get flooded with on LinkedIn, and I kind of responded to it. For the first time, I responded to a LinkedIn message, but it was written genuine. It was not a corporate sales.
Yeah.
So,
and when was this, by the way? What year?
This was 2013.
2013. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
13, yeah.
All right. So you get this LinkedIn message. You go in the interview.
Yeah, I just interviewed with him at a coffee shop, just kind of like sitting like you and I are sitting right now.
Yeah.
We hit it off, and he's like, you want to come join my company? I've hired all my friends. I don't have any friends left to hire. I'm looking to hire someone. You'd be the first person I hire that I didn't know.
Yeah. Interesting.
So that was fun. And so it was really cool. It's just small company culture.
Yeah.
Really fun time. My wife joined about a year later.
Okay, so you guys were already married at that point. You didn't meet at work or something.
Yes,
like that.
we weren't married actually.
Oh, okay.
No.
But you were together.
No, we were together.
Okay,
Yeah,
I don't want to get you in trouble.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we were together. Yeah. Maybe it was a few years later that she joined. It was probably about 2 or 3 years later. But
Okay, cool. So explain what this niche was. You say consulting, right? People
Yeah, so
think that's what we do, which we kind of do. But yeah, I'm intrigued by what that.
So it was in the pharmaceutical industry. Big pharmaceutical companies will build new pharmaceutical manufacturing spaces or
Okay.
lab spaces. And so we were kind of consulting with them on construction side. So they would hire a construction company, a GC,
Yeah.
to do the work, but they didn't really have the staff and the know-how to manage that. So we were kind of like the in-between that helped them kind of sort through the data, figure out what the decisions were to make.
And you had no background in this.
No background.
So you had to learn it as you
I learned that, yeah, but they were very, they were good teachers.
Yeah.
I learned a lot very quickly.
That's cool.
They kind of throw you into the fire.
Yeah.
As I think most consulting firms do.
Yeah.
I had to do a lot of figuring out on my own, but
Yeah.
and it was rough at the beginning, but
Sure.
I think that's kind of a theme we'll talk about later. Is we jumped into roofing, but
You're good at getting thrown in fires and figuring things out. Yeah.
exactly.
That's wild. So how did that business grow then how did you grow with that business at that time?
Yeah, so I got in really early, and we landed some really big clients.
Yeah.
Novo Nordisk. They were building some really big facilities in the U.S.
Okay.
So I got put on these really big projects, and then more and more people were hired, and so I was kind of pushed up into levels where I was managing these new people.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it just kind of grew as the company grew. I grew with it, and
Yeah.
And the managers pulled me along, thankfully.
Yeah. So it sounds like everything's going great.
Hey, contractors, stop only relying on digital advertising. It's your pal Bob Houchin with The Successful Contractor. This data is so shocking, I had to share it with you immediately. We all know the contracting world is obsessed with digital marketing. But did you know that properly curated direct mail campaigns outperform digital's response almost every time? Good direct mail has a higher ROI over any paid channel. Again, when direct mail is done right. Research shows that consumers will keep a piece of direct mail for 17 days. It sits on that kitchen counter looking at them all day long. Your best customers, the households earning 6 figures plus, 65% say they're overwhelmed with digital ads, and they now trust good old direct mail more when deciding who to buy from. So the mailbox is winning. The question is yours? Most contractors are spraying postcards across zip codes and praying that the right homeowner opens one. That's not marketing, that's a lottery ticket. So let me introduce you to CertainPath Lead Generation. CertainPath Lead Generation is our direct mail marketing agency that works with CertainPath members and non-members. CertainPath Lead Generation uses 200 plus data points, home, age, income, and more to put your direct mail in front of the households most likely to book a job and buy. We run structured, multi-month campaigns, so instead of a one-time spike in calls that fades, you build predictable, repeatable demand. I know, you love digital because you can measure it. Well, with CertainPath Lead Generation, it does it for you as well. We can show you exactly which mailed homes turned into book jobs and the revenue behind them. So you get all the accountability of digital and none of the noise. Direct mail still works, guessing just doesn't. Click the link and request your free market analysis. Stop guessing, start growing with CertainPath Lead Generation.
So how the hell are you getting a roofing?
There's a few steps in between. Yeah, never on the radar.
Yeah.
We were gonna just do that forever.
Right.
It was a lot of fun. Things were great. The company was great, but then the owner decided he had enough, and he sold the company to an international consulting company.
Okay.
And they promised things wouldn't change.
Yeah.
6 months later, it got sold again to an even bigger fish, like a 200,000 person like CBRE or something like that. It was a massive takeover, and
Things changed a lot.
Things started changing.
Yeah.
All of my managers that I knew left.
Okay.
The owner was gone. So Sasha and I were kind of left thinking, what do we do now?
Yeah.
There was a thought that we could just follow them.
Right.
But they ended up going to another really big consulting firm. So I was like, dude, that's the same thing. Like, they would do that. Around this time, I had reconnected with a friend that I hadn't talked to in a while.
Yeah.
He was working for the railroad. He told me that he quit his railroad job and bought a closet conversion company. His wife, who was a researcher at Harvard, also quit. They bought it together. And I was like, what?
Railroads, closets, very similar training.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's
But
just
he was having a lot of fun. They were making their own decisions. They were hiring people. They had employees. They were doing really well financially. It was like the greatest decision he had ever made. He was having a great time. So I was like, okay. Taking a step back, when Sasha's my wife, when we were consulting, she was not as interested in the consulting part. She was not as interested in being out there with the construction and the people doing the work like I was.
Yeah.
She was more interested in trying to help the owner and the top managers do their job, help them do their job.
Yeah.
So on the side, she was like reviewing resumes for the HR department. She was like making presentations for the managers. She was helping out with the owner in any way she could. She was really more interested in running a business.
Sure.
So hearing that you can buy a business, which was news to me. I didn't even think that was something you could do.
Right.
I went home and told her immediately, like, did you know that they bought a company and they run it now? And so her gears start turning right away.
Yeah.
She's like full into it. I'll try to keep this a short story.
No, you're fine. That's the whole point of podcast. Just let it roll.
This was like maybe late 2022.
Okay.
Probably around Christmas.
Yeah.
And by January 1st, we had a plan. She was going to buy a business in 6 months.
Wow.
And so she started reading all the books. I think the next day, a bunch of books arrived. Harvard Business Review has a book about like buying a business. Walker Diebold, I think is his name, has a book called Buy Then Build. It's all about acquiring an existing business instead of starting a new business. Sure. At this point, she also had an MBA too, so she was definitely like...
Yeah, she's on top of things.
Yeah. So started calling brokers, started listening to podcasts, and the brokers would start sending over company snapshots. It's called FIM. We had no idea what kind of company we wanted to buy.
Right.
So we looked at a Chinese food restaurant, coffee shops.
Yeah.
There was a coffee chain that was a franchisor. So they were starting to franchise their locations.
Yeah.
That would have been a cool one. It didn't work out. Landscaping companies, daycares, schools. We were all over the place.
It sounds like a lot of service, though, oriented type thing.
Yeah. So the more we started to dig into it, I say we, it was really all her. The more she started to dig into it, she kind of realized like service industry. She doesn't want an online business. She doesn't want like a fulfilled by Amazon business.
Yeah.
She doesn't want a restaurant.
Yeah.
What she really wanted was to be in the home, helping people solve their problems. Like that really resonated with her.
Why do you think that is?
I think that's her personality.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. That's what kind of drives her.
Yeah.
She loves that part of it.
Okay.
So we actually, now that we had that narrow focus, a roofing company came up in Western Massachusetts. We were living in New Hampshire at the time.
Okay.
Not that far.
Yeah.
My family's in Massachusetts. Her family was in New York, kind of in the between. This is perfect. The company had really good numbers. The financials were great.
And a broker brought this business to you.
A broker brought the business to us. Sasha did the initial analysis. She's like, I want to meet the owner. I want some more information. And so, passing over tax returns, kind of doing a deep dive on everything. She loved that part of it.
Yeah. When did you finally have a conversation with the owner?
I think it was, that's a good question. It might have been February.
So how long into the process was that?
2 months. It was,
2 months.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, she was doing it constantly. And so, 2 months in, we had found the company. And the rest of it from the next 3 months or so was getting banks, getting money, deciding what we really wanted to do, finding a place to live. Like we were all
changed a lot.
Yeah, it was very quick. We had
So when you met with him, I'm assuming you both met with him?
No, actually, so the original plan was that Sasha would buy the business, and I would continue working for a little while to support us because we don't know what the heck's gonna happen.
Yeah.
That was the original plan.
Yeah.
You could talk about how that changed too.
So she met with him then?
She met with him. She did all the interactions with him. She met him in person.
So she comes home after meeting with him. What do you recall that conversation was?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't remember. I mean, he is a charmer. Like,
Yeah.
he can charm in a
Well-
way, but he's also really rough because he's a roofer he's been doing it his whole life. He can be quite rough too. So
Sure.
I think initially she got the good side, but then
Yeah.
it was kind of back and forth. Sometimes you got a really nice.
Did he stay on when he
He did for about 2 months.
For 2
yeah, which ended up being way too long.
was the agreement for him to stay longer?
No,
Oh.
no, it was always 2 months.
Okay, let's do it. Well, it sounds like a good thing.
Yeah, yeah.
All right,
it was
fair.
very
Okay.
stressful. But
All right, so yeah, go ahead. So you guys decide move forward.
yeah, so we got our own money lined up. We're moving out to Western Massachusetts.
Yeah.
I still remember very clearly. It was a Saturday. We were moving in.
Yeah.
And he was in the neighborhood. He dropped by. This is the first time I'm meeting him. And he's like, "Oh, I'm just in the neighborhood. I've got 2 jobs running, in a town over, and I'm running another one tomorrow." And I'm like, "What? Excuse me?
Yeah.
It's Saturday. You're running 2 jobs.
Yeah.
And you're running another one tomorrow." Like, okay, this is not good.
Uh,
This is not what I thought
Right.
we were signing up for. And then later I connected with Sasha, and she had a conversation with him. I was like, "Hey, by the way, did you know that he works like 16-hour days?" And I was like, "Did you know he works on the weekends?"
Yeah.
Like, we're like 3 weeks away from closing on this business. And we find that out right in that moment. Okay.
That's how he did the 2 million by himself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The next day I put in my notice at work. I was like, okay,
Did you really?
we're all in. Like, I can't. So there's no way she's going to run this on her own.
Yeah.
16-hour days and weekends
Yeah.
with no experience. This
Yeah,
guy's
and
doing
no
it for
kids.
30 years. And he had 1 kid at the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was all in on the business at that point.
Wow. Okay, so then what was next? Well, I'm in.
Yeah, so I started riding around with him on his calls. We didn't own it at this point. I was just trying to learn as much as I could. I started riding around in his truck.
And what was your agreement, like you and Sasha? Like, Sasha, you're going to do this, I'm going to do that, or you're just like, we're just going to figure it out
We
together?
had no plan.
No plan.
Yeah.
Hey, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, so it kind of, the way it started to form very quickly was that I was going to be out in the fields. I was going to be meeting with customers. So I was running on sales calls with the former owner. I was going to project sites with him, and I was riding around with his grandson, who would do like material drop off, material pickup, and like getting materials if they needed it during the day.
Yeah.
So I was doing both of those things, and whenever I wasn't with the owner, Sasha was the owner learning permitting and ordering materials and everything else that goes with like the back end of running a business, invoicing and
Learning this as you go.
how to make an estimate and all that stuff. So,
So how are those first like 6 months?
oh, so stressful.
Yeah?
It was incredible. So the first 6 weeks,
Yeah.
we were still running 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Like he was, because he gave us some really bad advice often. And one of the pieces of advice he gave me was, if you don't work these guys every single day, they'll find someone else and you'll lose them. And so we're like, okay, panic. We do not want to lose our crew.
Lose
We don't know how to find a new crew. We don't know what a good crew looks like.
Yeah.
We can't lose this crew.
Yeah.
So we're working 7 days a week, every week.
Yeah.
16-hour days, both of us, and drowning, just drowning.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The first hire we made about 2 weeks in was a sales guy.
Yeah.
He helped a lot. Kind of an old school guy. He was dirt cheap.
Was he with a roofing background?
He was recommended by the owner. Yeah, he had a roofing background. He had been selling roofing before.
Okay.
And he helped us. He didn't last long, but he helped us get it through the
Yeah, he gave you some insight.
Yeah. Gave us some relief on, like, I didn't have to try to sell and run projects at the same time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and the next hire we did was like maybe September, October. We hired someone to answer the phone for us because
Yeah.
answering the phone was, I mean, that alone is a tough job.
Yeah.
And she also took over permitting for us and
Yeah.
and invoicing and so.
Holy cow. Yeah.
Yeah. The first thing, so not the first thing, but about 6 weeks in, we're like, we cannot do Sundays anymore. Like,
Yeah.
we are, at the very least, we need to do 6 days a week. So I told the crew, we're not going to have any work on Sundays anymore. And they're like, okay.
They're like, thank you.
Yeah, probably.
Thank you.
I wonder how much it was like, they were worried that if they didn't work for the owner,
yeah.
that he would
And you're
drop
the new
them.
owner coming in, right?
Yeah, so they were worried that if they didn't work for the owner was going to find a new crew. And the owner was worried that if they didn't, he didn't have work for them, that they were going to find a new owner. And so there was like this relationship that was not
Good communication lesson, right? Early on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Intriguing. Okay, so,
So
you
we
take
did
Sundays
6 days a year, 6 days a week for
Yeah.
the next, for the rest of that year, for the rest of 2023. So from June to, so I guess from mid-August.
So how that first year, like, were you making money? Were you?
It's hard to know. He didn't have very good advice on how to price either. It was kind of like a finger in the air kind of thing. This town, you maybe get $500 a square.
Yeah.
So in roofing, that's like $5 a square foot.
Yeah.
And in this town, they're bigger houses and they have a little bit more money. You could probably get 600. And so it was like, okay, that's what we did. Like we had towns listed and how much we thought we could get for each town. We had no idea if we were going to make any money.
Right.
Or we had no idea about margins.
Right. So it was just money in the bank account, money out of the bank account.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. I mean, that Sasha was not going to handle that for very long. She created a sheet where we had all of our materials.
Right. I was going to say, she's got an MBA.
She was like, I have no idea if we're making money. I have to find out how much material.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, so that she implemented that too on the back end. So at least we still followed his pricing rule.
Yeah.
At least we knew how much we were making at that point.
Yeah.
Or not making.
We're not making.
Yeah. Yeah.
What led us to attend the event today? We've been watching the CertainPath podcast on YouTube for quite some time, and it just had a lot of good content, so we wanted to come and see what that content was live. Coming into this, I had no expectations of what it might be. I've never experienced anything like this before, but it proved to be a truly moving and engaging experience all the way around. My most powerful insight from this is that there are other contractors just like me, just struggling to make it, to figure it out. And it's wonderful to know that there's a network of people that can help support you and have your back. The most exciting thing to take home here, what we're going to implement is going to be the call taking and dispatching for profit. I can truly see from the coaches what the value of that is, and for us, that's going to be step one. I would recommend others come and experience so that they can find out what they don't know, to understand that they don't know what they don't know, and to be able to experience a community that's willing to help answer that question.
Okay. So when did you find us? How did you find us?
Yeah, so 2024.
Yeah.
So just exhausted in 2023.
Good thing you guys are young.
Yeah, we needed to find help. So why don't we hire a general manager? I don't know. We have no idea, but we're doing. That sounds like a good idea.
Right.
So we found a recruiter who owned an HVAC company.
Really?
And so he did recruiting on the side. He said, by the way, this is a coaching company. I don't think they're with CertainPath anymore.
Okay.
They only stayed in for a little while.
Yeah.
But they liked their experience, and they said, you should check out this CertainPath company. They have coaches that can help you.
Wow.
Sasha looked into it, went to a profit day in spring 2024.
Yeah.
And signed up, I think, on the spot. So
So did you both go or just Sasha?
just Sasha.
Is that right?
I was still running projects. Like,
Right.
There's no way
Yeah,
we
you're
were
not
not
in a-
both going anywhere.
Yeah. Wow. So what did wish I had her now, but what did she think of that day? Like, what did she relay to you? Like, hey,
It was overwhelming. I think she'll tell you every profit day is overwhelming, and it's like drinking from a fire hose, and she wants to do everything all at once and can't. So she's trying to focus on like one thing that she can do.
Yeah. Wow.
But very energized and excited about it, for sure.
So then I guess did you both go to executive perspective then?
No, just her.
Just her.
Yeah, I was still, I couldn't.
You just felt like
I could not come away from we were barely hanging on, like with the projects. I'm still working from the moment we wake up until the moment we go to bed. We're working, so we couldn't both go anywhere. So I've never been to an EP.
You haven't yet.
No.
Okay. Well, wow, and you guys are doing what you're doing. Well, she's obviously doing the right things. You're doing the right things.
She's been to a couple of them, but
Yeah. So when did I'm assuming you gone to a sales training with us recently or not long ago, right?
Yeah. So in 2024, about a year in, we're starting to implement technology, which our older sales guy was not keeping up.
Sure.
So,
I mean, he said he had a grandson in the business, so
no, that was the owner that had it.
Oh, that was the owner. Okay.
Yeah. So the sales guy,
The sales guy.
he was also, he was an older guy. He wasn't really gonna, like, we didn't see him growing with us.
Right.
So I went to sales roofing specialist training in May of 2024.
Okay.
And when I got back, we fired him.
Yeah.
And so I just took over sales at that point.
Wow.
We had another guy at that also running the projects for me.
Yeah.
So I went into sales.
So you felt like you
He
could
ran the project.
dedicate that time.
Yeah.
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 What did you think of that training? Like, were you like, oh, I kind of get it now?
It was great. So I have no sales background. So we were just, sometimes I wouldn't even meet with the customers.
Right.
I would just go to their house when I had a few minutes on a project. I would just run over to the house, take a look at it. Maybe I wouldn't even do that.
Right.
Just we had the online measuring tool.
Yeah.
We just sent off an estimate through email, maybe not even talking to the person
Sure.
at all. It was, I don't know how we won any jobs. Like we were just cheap, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
So having an actual structure where we're like sitting down and talking to the homeowner, like that was so great.
You're like,
it was a little overwhelming. I was
right.
like,
That's a lot.
where am I going
That's
to
a lot.
find this time for this? Like, cause I was just already doing so many estimates.
Right.
Quantity is what got us through it. Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say, now, did you, when the EP days, did you realize you were underpriced?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was one of the first things we changed. Is we are way underpriced. Like this is what other companies are getting. I was like, what? Are you kidding me?
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're just dropping bids and you're fishing, and they're like, "Oh, that's pretty cheap." You were getting the low bidder buyer.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Okay.
100%. We only had like a base level shingle, one option.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just that's interesting.
We won a lot because buying the business, we bought the name. There was no assets. He
Yeah.
had a lot of goodwill. He had a really
Did
good
he have a good
reputation.
book of business? Like, did you have a big database of customers at all, or
He had some good relationships with property managers,
Okay.
which helped us. He had good relationships with just people. Like he's lived in the area for his whole life, and he's roofed in the area his whole life. He just knew a lot.
people knew the name? Yeah.
But we did not have a good book of. He was supposed to run the business as if he wasn't going to sell it.
Got it.
He did not.
Yeah.
He did as many projects as he could right before he gave us the business.
Yeah.
And gave us maybe 4 or 5 roofs total.
Yeah.
Which for a $2 million company, you have more than 4 jobs in the queue.
Yeah.
So we were struggling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we bought relationships essentially. We bought goodwill and relationships from
Yeah.
him for
Right.
a lot of
Right.
money.
Hey, well, you learn now. So.
Yeah.
All right. So
You would do it differently.
you do it differently. Well, it never works out just how you think it will,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
always a crazy plan. All right, so you learn this roofing training, right? And then you start running these calls differently at a higher price. How did it go initially? Did you start winning jobs, and or was it a struggle at first?
It was definitely a struggle. 100% of a struggle. Yeah.
And this was 24, right?
This is 2024.
Yeah.
And this is now May, which is starting to really be peak lead season. So I'm running like 15, 20 calls a week. Just scrambling. I'm still not doing the full presentation for everybody. Still just a lot of times just sending off emails with prices at 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Not presenting price in the home. Like there's still so much to work on. Sure. We're still not really building value.
Right.
We're still just kind of like getting what we could get.
Yeah. You're in survival mode.
Definitely.
Yes. Yeah. So when did it click? No, you're fine. No. When did it click and you're like, okay, I'm using the sales system. I'm slowing down. I'm building value. I'm able to price, get the roof.
Yeah.
The price I see. Get it.
There were flashes of that throughout 2024, but still not really fully getting it. I think it was, so we hired another salesperson in September of 2024. Okay. Brought him to sales training in December, and it was in Arizona that year at Five Guys Roofing.
Okay, yeah. Did you go with him?
I went with him, so I did.
That's
I did
neat
again.
to see Five Guys.
Yeah. They're great facility.
And great people.
They're great people. And that's where I did. So at my first sales training and at the second one as well, they asked, will someone come up and role play in front of everybody for the entire thing? So I did it at both.
Did you?
And so I noticed a difference in myself and how I handled it the second time around.
Yeah.
And how more comfortable I felt.
Yeah.
And building rapport and reading the body language and kind of going with the flow. I felt comfortable.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's probably around when it clicked, was the end of 2024. After I'd done sales completely wrong for a year, and then had some help and still was kind of like figuring it out for another 6 months.
Yeah.
It probably took about a year and a half.
Something probably, so do you think it was just a mentality clicked? Like, I need to really be more purposeful in following the system after that? Or
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I think a little bit of desperation still. Like, I need to figure this out.
Right.
I
I guess you were going into the winter too, probably.
going into the
So it
winter.
slowed down. So maybe you're like, you didn't feel like you just had to run to every opportunity because there weren't as many.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Trying to get stuff booked for the spring when it got warm, or if it happened to be nice, we could try to get something done.
Yeah. So last year was a great year, though. So, I mean, $2 million, for really running the system for the first time.
Yeah. Okay.
Really strong.
So we hired a production manager in the fall of 2024.
Yeah.
Prior to that, we were calling our supply. We have so much gratitude for our suppliers. We would call them and say, we just booked a job for tomorrow. Can you deliver materials? And they're like, here we go again. So, like, it was always like, we never had enough work more than a week out
Yeah.
for the first year and a half. We would sell a job and we would be like, oh, we're booked, but maybe I can oh, you know what? Something just canceled on Thursday and it's Monday. We didn't have anything. We had nothing. So we were scrambling to get materials. We finally hired our production manager. He started smoothing out the process for us, getting materials set up weeks in advance.
Got it. So he had some background in the.
Yeah, he came from another roofer actually.
Okay.
So 2025, we're going in with a good production system.
Yeah.
We hired a new project manager. We had a salesperson and myself, so two of us doing sales.
Yeah.
We hired a dedicated call taker again in the spring, and so 2025 was going well.
Yeah.
2 more salespeople later in the year.
Wow.
That we hired, so we were up to.
So the leads are coming in. At least the
Yes.
name is worked well in terms of lead gen.
Yes. Yeah, that was the best thing we had going for us. Is everybody's heard of Sexton Roofing in Western Mass. So yeah, that was helpful.
Yeah.
Spending a lot on marketing too, as well. Obviously, their signs work really well.
Yeah.
In our area. Yeah, I think we lost a sales guy to retirement, but then our call taker was ambitious and wanted to become a salesperson. So she
Really?
moved up into sales. She was here at training
Really?
yesterday.
That's neat. You don't hear that a lot. I've seen it a few times.
Well, Sasha, so we came from a corporate world and small companies where if you wanted to do something, you could carve out a promotion for yourself. You should figure out what you wanted to do, and they valued that. And
That's
so
great.
Sasha, I think her unique perspective on running a roofing company, she has that corporate background where growth is important.
Yeah. Yeah.
Opportunity is important.
Right.
And we stress that when we hire people is like, you can do whatever you want in this company. We're going to grow big, and you can find a role that suits you best. And you got to make that role sometimes.
fantastic.
So sometimes we'll make that role, but
And you can prove to people that when you recruit later on,
We hope
hey,
so, yeah.
she started this. She wanted to do sales. There's an opportunity there.
yes.
As we continue to grow, there's more opportunity.
Yeah, up until I think a couple weeks ago, she was the number 1 salesperson in 2025. I think another person sold one roof and got ahead of her, but they're neck and neck right now.
That's
so
great.
She's
Have
doing
to talk to her
she's
next
doing
year.
really well. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah,
Yeah, that's great.
yeah.
But
Her goal is 2 million, I think. So
That-
yeah,
that's great.
yeah.
But for you, the business is starting to, everything's getting in its place, and obviously, you're closing. You're getting jobs at the hard.
Yeah, I still 2 million, but I don't think my close rate was that great in 2025.
Yeah, you don't think so?
I still ran, especially the first half of the year. I still ran a lot of leads.
Yeah.
I do think I'm good at relationships with like property managers.
Yeah.
And realtors,
Okay.
and they feed a lot of work to us, and that helped me a lot. But I don't think my close rate in home was still very good. In fact, I'm trying to get myself out of sales.
Yeah.
And have like true salespeople.
Yeah.
Do that going forward, because I
That's
just don't think it's. I still don't think I'm very good at it, even though I sold a lot. I think it's just volume, really. So if we're gonna, we're still low as far as CertainPath standards are.
Yeah.
And margins of what we should be selling for, we're still low.
A little low.
So in order to raise that up, we really need our salespeople to step up. We just hired a sales manager.
Oh, wow.
Lots of sales background. He's very motivated to get
You
people.
say his sales or roofing sales background?
No, he was windows, gutter guards.
Okay.
He did door knocking too for.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's helpful.
Yeah, so we have 2 people with lots of heavy door knocking experience. Which those people are completely comfortable with rejection and talking to anybody. It's so great watching them work.
You got to be a unique type.
Yeah. So both of them are now in sales with us, and
So they're doing sales and door knocking.
We have kind of a situation where if your leads are slow, you're free to do any door knocking that you want.
Okay.
And you get an extra 2% commission for anything that you close as a door knocker. So
Okay.
if you're motivated and you're kind of slow at the moment, you don't have any leads, you door knock. Yeah,
That's
100%.
great.
Yeah, and we have a whole script for
And
it.
they have that background, so they're cool with it.
Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
And they've taught they've taught everybody else how to do it.
What's the so I'm intrigued by this now because it's getting more. I know more and more people are going back to it, and we've got certain members here that swear by it and have like whole departments dedicated. So what's the spiel they give when they door knock? I know you're not doing it per se. Do you know what what they say to get the
So they came from like a big national company that only does door knocking. They don't have any other marketing.
Okay.
So they just all their marketing is a door knocking team. So they have a very well developed script that they teach all the door knockers. It's a kind of a warm up, a joke.
Yeah.
So we're working in your area. It's got a lot of psychology behind it, like a lot of Jones effect, kind of like work in your area. I noticed your roof, your windows, your siding, whatever it is.
Is a free estimate, or you don't say estimate. Like I want to kind of take a look at it. Like what's the word that they use to?
Yeah. So when you're door knocking, you're just setting an appointment.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything in that moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then are they setting the appointment for themselves later?
Yeah. They're actually setting an appointment for themselves.
Okay.
I'm going to be dropping off an estimate to your neighbors on Tuesday at 4:00. You'll be around. I can stop by and so then I'll leave you a free estimate.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
Yeah. I mean, it's
psychology.
it's a very simple
Strict.
script, but you got to hit all the points in it.
Yeah.
To make them feel good about the decision and to get them on the calendar. Then you go in for the sale. It's the same person that you just met door knocking.
Yeah.
They're gonna talk to you about whatever the issue is.
Yeah.
It's
Fascinating.
It's really cool.
Are now these new salespeople you're bringing on? So are you training them? Or are you kind of showing them the system and how you expect them to run these leads?
Yeah.
How's
so
that working?
The salespeople that we have now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I trained all of them. They've also all gone through roofing specialist training. They all went to it in January or February with SD.
Yeah. Because ST's like, you should talk to him. I'm like, okay, great. Yeah. Because she knew you guys were bought in. So she's like, that's great. That's great.
They're all doing really well. So I initially taught, I teach them more of like the technical side, what to look for on the roof.
Yeah.
Here's what an issue might be. If they say this, make sure you check here.
Right.
Kind of, making sure they understand what they're looking for to sound competent or to be competent, we should say.
Well, what were their backgrounds? Right? And no roofing. They're all just sales oriented type people.
No.
Obviously, you had one CCR converted.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. I think she has a little bit of sales background, like in retail.
Okay.
Retail sales.
Which is good.
Another guy, we pulled him from Home Depot.
Okay.
Actually.
Yeah.
He was working at the pro desk there.
Yeah.
And he did a lot. He actually did a lot of side jobs. He would do roofing on the side. He would do house painting on the side.
He's a hustler.
So we brought him in and made him a salesperson as well.
Now, okay, so how many salespeople total then?
So there's 4 if you count me.
Yeah.
Plus the sales manager who's brand new this week, actually.
Oh, and very. So when you're interviewing for salespeople, sales manager, what are you looking for?
Number one, it's a culture fit.
Okay.
Because with such a small company,
Yeah.
we're in close quarters. They have to be able to get along with us.
Yeah. So when you say culture fit, how do you define your culture?
Growth mindset.
Yeah.
Cares about doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Cares about the other employees. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Is that just how do you find that out? Just open-ended interview questions?
Yeah, spending a lot of time with them. We do phone interview. We do in-person interview with maybe Sasha and myself, and then we do another interview with everybody. So it's at least 3 interviews for any position. Yeah, and that's what we're doing at least
to teach that. Well, that's great.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah,
very cool.
We're small enough that we can do that.
You can't do that. So it's like, okay, the person leaves. Did we get a good feel? Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. And lots of times, just ask any questions, kind of dive in, press them a little bit. It's a little more kind of loose when everybody's involved. Sometimes for some of the people, we're doing it at a restaurant, eating lunch. Like, okay, last interview, we're eating. Everybody's kind of sitting around the table and Do they fit in with everybody? Kind
So wait, you'll have lunch with the person?
we have done that we didn't do that with our sales manager. But yeah, for our CCR and some of our other salespeople, the third interview was eating lunch with us.
You kind of see how people are
Yeah,
in a dining experience, how they treat the wait staff.
sure. Yeah.
You know, how they interact with people. That's a neat idea. That's cool.
Yeah.
So you have your new salespeople. Your new sales manager. So he had sales background, or was a sales manager background?
Just sales background.
Okay.
Yeah, he never been a manager. So this is a new position for us. We very much have a developing sales team.
Yeah.
My 2 years in sales is like the most, right? So, our sales manager has a lot more than that. He's brand new. He did, like I said, Pella windows. He did leaf guards. He did door knocking. He's been in sales a lot.
Do you guys do a lot of exterior stuff too on top of roofing, or just all roofing?
Yeah, so we do primarily roofing. That's like 90%.
Yeah.
We also do siding, gutters,
Okay.
windows.
So you have a crew that'll handle that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Very good. So when you onboard these salespeople, what's that process like? So obviously you send them training with us. So
Yes.
what kind of training are you doing in-house?
So they would ride along with me.
Yep.
If we had other salespeople, they'd ride along with them too. We kind of get a feel for how everybody does it.
Yeah.
We have our presentation from CertainPath. We've made some modifications to it.
Yeah, make it your own.
Yeah.
It's not a franchise, so you can do that.
Yeah, of course. So they're seeing us do the presentation in home. They're seeing us on the roof and what we're looking at. They're watching how we interact with the customer.
Yeah.
And then we also do lots of role playing.
That's great.
Here's the first 2 pages, whatever. Kind of go through it chunk by chunk. Got role playing each section.
That's great. So how often will you guys train?
Not
Continue.
often enough.
Not often enough.
So now that we haven't had a focus on it.
Yeah.
But now we have a sales manager. We're really hoping that that's like at least lots of role playing.
Yes.
All our guys want to do it.
That's if you can get a group of people that want to do it.
They know that. I don't know if they want to do it, but they know that it's
They're
the
open
way to get to what they want to get.
That's smart, because there's a
Yeah.
lot of salespeople that want to get where they want and don't want to role play.
Yeah.
And just think it's going
That's
to happen.
probably me, actually.
You don't want to stand in front of people and act like you're in a sales situation.
Yeah.
No, it's totally natural. But that's great that they're open to it, because
100%.
the
Yeah.
companies that I've been doing this a long time, the companies that make the most money and do the best, and they role play every day.
Mm-hmm.
Every day. I know the companies, and I'm like, their teams do it on their own, because they know it touches their
Our
paycheck.
teams do it on their own. Yeah.
That's great.
It's great.
If you have that
really-
culture already, you guys are going to be you're going to be a great launching point to do
Awesome.
well. That's good to hear.
In 2025, we started about halfway through the year. We started presenting price in home too. So we were still, for a lot of 2025, sending off an estimate after the fact,
yeah.
right? Which is a huge disconnect between what you just built, the value you just built, and then they're seeing it's just a number.
You got the emotion, and then it's kind
Yeah.
of pulls, right?
So in mid 2025, we started to we had our one pager kind of built up. We would write the price for them at the table.
Yeah.
Present to them, and we were able to do the closing steps.
Oh, cool.
Which is a big step for us.
When did it like 6 months ago then? In 2025.
It was like I think it was early to mid 2025 when we
Okay.
started doing that.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I was like, I'm spending every night, hours a night, creating these estimates and sending them off in emails and not getting anything back. When we started delivering prices in home, it was a huge relief.
Yeah.
Because I could close them in the home, or I could not. Either way, I was like done with it. I didn't have to go later that night and just like do an estimate.
Yes.
It was. I felt like I could get my time back. I could do more. I could. I have that 2-hour window dedicated to try to close them and to do whatever I need to do.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to worry about the estimate again.
100%.
So.
Well, because then you email it, and then, if you're like most people, people look at my phone, how many unlooked at emails, they freak out. People don't look at it, or they go, or they go, it gives them a chance to wiggle out. So then you're calling back, right?
Yep. And they're not answering, or
Right. Then you're calling and calling. So if you get it, and if they love you, and sign up that day right there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we started doing one call closes, which was really cool. Like, you do the whole thing, you do the inspection, you go through the presentation, and then they sign and give you a check. And it's like, what? This is insane. So cool.
Yeah, that is neat. That is
Yeah.
neat. And so at that point, you had two salespeople that were doing that, or you had all
Just
three?
me and one other.
Me
Yeah.
and the other, and you guys were like, this is why.
Yeah.
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 Oh, that's very neat. All right. Well, cool.
So I think I brought that up because specifically just recently over the winter, I
Yeah.
came into the office and the guys, one of the guys was role playing. They just started doing it on their own. He knew he needed to do it. He was role playing. He went off to his call right after that, and one call closed. Like she's like, this is why you do it.
That's why you do it.
Yeah.
That's why you do it. That's why we always tell people it's best to train on a Monday morning. Nobody wants to
Interesting.
do it
Yeah.
because it's just came in from the weekend.
Yeah.
If you start out hot, you start out warmed up,
Mhm.
right? Monday morning, and then you have a better week. You train on Thursday, you've had
Maybe that's
days.
why I feel so good. I had a one call close on Monday today.
Yeah, did you? There
Yeah.
you go. There you go. I love it. Yeah. Well, cool. Well, I mean, this is a fascinating story. I would love we have to have you guys on in the
Yeah, you gotta get Sasha.
have Sasha
Yeah.
on to get her side of the story.
100%.
Well, and maybe in a year or two and see how the business is growing now.
Yeah.
Because this is a neat evolution.
We're our target is 6.5 this year.
6.5 this
Yeah.
year. That's great.
Yeah.
That's
4
so
salespeople,
cool.
I think we can do it. And a sales manager. Yeah.
Hey, contractors, stop only relying on digital advertising. It's your pal Bob Houchin with The Successful Contractor. This data is so shocking, I had to share it with you immediately. We all know the contracting world is obsessed with digital marketing, but did you know that properly curated direct mail campaigns outperform digital's response almost every time? Good direct mail has a higher ROI over any paid channel. Again, when direct mail is done right. Research shows that consumers will keep a piece of direct mail for 17 days. It sits on that kitchen counter looking at them all day long. Your best customers, you know the households earning 6 figures plus, 65% say they're overwhelmed with digital ads, and they now trust good old direct mail more when deciding who to buy from. So the mailbox is winning. The question is yours? Most contractors are spraying postcards across zip codes and praying that the right homeowner opens one. That's not marketing, that's a lottery ticket. So let me introduce you to CertainPath Lead Generation. CertainPath Lead Generation is our direct mail marketing agency that works with CertainPath members and non-members. CertainPath Lead Generation uses 200 plus data points, home, age, income, and more to put your direct mail in front of the households most likely to book a job and buy. We run structured, multi-month campaigns, so instead of a one-time spike in calls that fades, you build predictable, repeatable demand. I know, you love digital because you can measure it. Well, with CertainPath Lead Generation, it does it for you as well. We can show you exactly which mailed homes turned into book jobs and the revenue behind them. So you get all the accountability of digital and none of the noise. Direct mail still works, guessing just doesn't. Click the link and request your free market analysis. Stop guessing, start growing with CertainPath Lead Generation.
Well, I'd still love to talk through the sales process, how you do it, if you're open to that.
Sure.
Okay. So when you get dispatched or to a call, what kind of background do you try to find out on the customer? Do you kind of information? Do you do anything online, or what's your mental process too?
I don't actually. I like going in. I think one of my strong points is the rapport building and information gathering and talking to people.
Yeah.
So I don't generally research them or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'll look at the house on Google Maps. I'll have my estimate prepared because we do the online, like the satellite measurement tool.
Oh, cool. What tool do you guys use?
We use Roofer.
Okay.
It's got some pros and cons, but
Yeah.
so I'll prepare my estimate before I go out there. I
Yep.
know generally what it's going to cost. And I know what the house looks like.
Yep.
Before I go there.
Okay.
Part of our screening process is they know that I'm going in the attic. They know I'm going to get on the roof. So that's already kind of laid out. But, so yeah, I'm going there and I'm just kind of focusing on information gathering. What matters to them? How long have they been there?
Right.
How long are they going to be there?
Before we get to that part, though, now are these mostly marketed leads then, or do you guys do any repair work that gets flipped, or are you pretty much just doing replacements?
We do all, yeah. So we have marketing leads.
Yeah.
We have a lot of referrals. Like I said, we bought Goodwill. So we still get a lot of referrals just from people, and now we're starting to build our own referral network.
Right.
We have property managers.
Yeah.
We have realtors.
Yeah.
But most of it is still marketing leads.
Still market leads.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Sorry, you pull up to the house, right? And then, you kind of do any...
And by the way, we do repair. We do go repairs.
do some
Yeah, we try to flip those whenever
Flip those.
possible.
Okay, good. Very good. Yeah, so how many repair techs do you have?
We have one repair tech.
One repair tech. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah,
Pretty
but
good.
we generally have our crews. He started off as a repair tech.
Yeah.
He would just do our repairs for us.
Yeah.
Turns out he hated that. He was really good at it.
He was good at doing the sales part of the repair.
He was no.
We're good at doing
Our
the
salespeople would still do the sale.
They still do
Then
so.
he would go out and do the work.
Okay.
So he was not
like doing-
responsible for selling it. Although he was actually pretty good at upselling people on the spot.
Okay.
Because he's like a 15-year roofer. He could see things that our sales guys didn't see.
Yes.
He was actually really good at going up there and saying, "Oh, by the way, I can also do this and this and this." And
Yeah.
we had a straightforward pricing guy, so it was easy for him. But so our sales guys still run all the repair leads.
Okay.
though.
Got it.
And now he is a project manager, and he takes one or two guys from the crew, and they'll all do a repair together. Or
Got it. There we go. Okay. Okay. Very good. No, that was good background. All right. But for you, okay, let's say you're on a market lead. You pull up to the house. Are you doing any trying to find, cars with stickers on it, or if they're really proud of their landscaping, just something to have a open-ended conversation to make a friend
oh yeah,
within the first 5 or 10 minutes.
especially if they have really nice landscaping.
Yeah.
You're going to talk about protecting it when we.
Oh yeah.
A lot of construction. So yes, I noticed you have some really nice plants and flowers here.
Yeah.
This bush seems important.
Yeah.
Whatever. We're gonna protect that, and I'll show you how. And,
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm paying attention to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
If there's a sticker on a college.
Oh yeah.
On a back of a window or whatever, I'm paying attention to that too. I'll ask them about it later.
So when you knock on the door, do you have that initial conversation outside, or do you try to get in the home to have more of
It's kind of a mix. So I'm always prepared for either.
Yeah.
I have my shoe cover things
Yeah.
in my back pocket because
Yeah.
sometimes people are just like, "Come on in," and other people step out and meet you.
because they think roofer, we're outside.
Sure, yeah, and
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I kind of go with the flow. I don't try to force them into anything. I'm kind of letting them dictate whether it's gonna be inside or outside, and it doesn't matter to me. I'm gonna have the same conversation either way. So.
And what do you say in that initial 5 or 10 minutes? Do you just, how do you explain, introduce yourself,
Sure.
what you're doing? What does that look like?
Yeah, I introduce myself and I ask some questions that help them kind of qualify themselves.
Yeah.
So why did you call? What's wrong? What's going on with your roof?
Yep.
What was the reason that you called?
Yeah.
Is it just really old? Is it leaking? Did insurance send you a letter that told you need to replace it? Whatever it is, I want to find out why I'm here, and I want them to say it out loud,
Yeah.
right? So that they're already kind of
Right.
qualifying themselves.
Do you use our roofing solutions survey? Do you like to write that? Because a lot of this is the open-ended questions to get. Do you have that? Are you writing this down?
We actually don't
Yeah.
use that.
No, that's all right.
But I do really like when on repair calls.
Yeah.
There's that little survey, a scorecard,
Yes.
and if you get above a certain score,
Yeah.
time to replace.
Yeah.
That's really effective on repair calls. But I don't do anything like that on
No,
sales.
but
calls, actually.
you're checking all the boxes. It's really
I'm asking
it's
the
all the
questions organically. I'm trying to.
You've internalized it and you're asking it there.
Sure, like how long have you lived there?
Yeah.
How long do you plan on living? Is it your forever home, as Dee used to say?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Do you ask them what what are some things you're looking for in your roof to understand what they value most?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
What's most important to you
Right.
in your roof? I know at least two or maybe all the other salespeople, they'll actually hand them that sheet that we get from CertainPath that has the 8 little
Yes.
diagrams, like what's more important, like, take a look at this, what's more important to you. And they'll also hand them maybe a shingle brochure, like,
Yeah.
so they can look at colors. They'll hand them the financing sheet. I don't do any of that. I don't follow the right practices. I really
You're
should.
telling on yourself
I
too
really
much in this
should.
interview. As long as your team does it, now you know you're getting out. So yeah.
Like I said, I'm trying to move away from sales. I know that I'm not good at it. I know that I'm not doing it the right way.
Well, you're doing enough. You're doing it right. You're getting the team doing it the right. But no, you're asking the right question. How about you plant the seed on financing or anything at that point?
No, I don't, but our other guys do.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Right, right. Yeah. By the way, most of your business is this we call retail, or is this a lot of insurance?
It's all retail. We have
that's great.
almost no insurance. It's
That's
very rare. Maybe with 2 or 3 insurance a year.
That's
max.
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jake, it's just not get with a lot of storms.
Yeah, it's not. The Northeast is not that stormy.
Yeah.
And when it is, it's
Snow.
It's snow. Exactly. It's not hail. We don't get a lot of hail there.
Okay.
Not a lot of hurricane winds.
That's right.
Nothing destructive happens in New England. It's just a lot of freeze thaw, expansion, contraction of the shingles. That's the biggest killer for us.
Right.
So roofs get old.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
That's really what we are selling on. So
Yeah. How about how do you ensure that both you have two decision makers there, or all the decision makers there?
yeah, so that's tough.
Sure.
We try to do it
On the phone, I'm
on the
assuming.
phone
Yeah.
when we first take them in. I don't know if we're really that great at that.
Yeah.
But our sales guys are trained to do what we call a time scrub, where actually this happened to me on Tuesday. I was with a guy the whole time I was with him. He was showing me around the house, looking in the attic, looking at the roof. He kept talking about his wife. Oh, I wish my wife was here. I wish she could answer that question. I'm like, okay, he's not the decision maker. At least he's not the prime. He's not all of it. So we finished all that, and I said, by the way, it sounds like your wife is one of the primary issues, at least an equal partner in decision making.
Yeah.
Would it be better if I came back when she was around?
Absolutely.
He's like, oh, he was like relieved. He's like, that's a great idea.
Yeah, that's great. I don't want to get in trouble. Yeah. Yeah.
So it worked out that I could come back later that day at 4:00.
Yeah.
Right before I drove down here, I was with.
Oh,
them.
is that right?
Yeah. So so our sales guys all know how to do that.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can recognize when it's not going well, and they can set another appointment for themselves when both are going to be there. But it would really be better if we could do it.
Yeah.
On the initial intake call. Right. We're trying to get better at that.
Sure. All right. What any other really good questions that you want to ask at that point before you start doing the inspection of the roof?
Yeah, I'll ask about any issues that they have. Do you have leaks? Because I want to know if there's something specific that I can look at. I want to know if they've done any big projects, other big projects recently, and how that experience went. Just trying to, I don't know if it's going to help or not. But sometimes, like if they just spent a lot of money in a kitchen, they may not have expected this roofing expense to come in, and then that's a financing question potentially.
Right. So, okay. So at that point, you getting on the roof. I mean, you mentioned the cards, right? The benefit cards.
Yes.
The guy, now, did you do that initially, or do you do the inspection of the roof and then come back and do that?
Yeah, so at that point, I'll kind of paint the picture, as we call it.
Yeah.
I'll explain what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in the attic. I'm going to take a look at all this stuff. I'm going to go on the roof. I'm going to take pictures. I'm going to come back in, and I'm going to show you. I make sure I say I'm going to come back in because I want to do it in the house.
Great.
I'm going to come back in.
Yeah.
We sit with you, explain all of our options.
Yeah.
What it's like to work with our company, what the process looks like, and then I'm going to leave you a price, and then I'm out of your hair.
That's great.
Right.
Now walk me through your inspection. So you're still getting on the roof, getting in the attic,
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm looking. Try to do attic first. Doesn't always work that way. Sometimes they have stuff they forgot that we're going to the attic or whatever. So they're clearing stuff out of the way. So I'll do the outside first at that point. But I try to do the attic first, and I hit upon, especially if they mentioned an issue, I'll try to find that issue.
Yeah.
Looking at plywood, looking at ventilation. Those are the primary things I'm looking at.
Right. And that's a differentiator for you too, because I'm assuming there's not a lot of roofers the roofing salespeople that will make that effort.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Again, going back to earlier this week, that same call I just was talking about, when I sat down with the wife at 4:00, she said, no one else went in the attic, no one else on the roof, and no one else sat down to talk to me.
Right. Heck, you weren't 2 years ago.
That's right. That's exactly what I was doing.
A lot of people don't do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a great differentiator. It shows attention to detail. It shows care. We want to get this project right.
Back in that first year in 2023, I remember calling somebody.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, we're going with someone else. And I said, oh, why? Was it price? And he said, they're actually just a little more thorough. And that stung me. And so I was like, I'm never going to be the one that's not thorough ever again. I want people to say, yeah, you were very thorough. We appreciate that you looked at everything. I wanted to make sure I was that that person at the time.
Good learning lesson.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Okay. When you, so again, you said you're looking at ventilation, you're looking at, the decking that you can from the other side. What other things are you trying to point out? So you can show them how we understand how to build a roof better than anybody.
Sure. Yeah. So gaps. A lot of homes in New England are old.
Yeah.
And they were built before plywood, right? And so there's big gaps between the boards sometimes. So, we're bringing that up. You're going to need all new plywood. We're looking for things like if they have a bath vent that just vents into the attic and not outside, that's against code.
Yeah.
If they have gable vents versus soffit intakes, ridge vent exhaust, I'm just trying to get a whole picture of like what's going on with the attic. Do they have any kind of organic growth?
Yeah.
Do they have any wetness? Is it more warm than it should be up there? So I'm just trying to gather as much information about what's going on. I may ask them.
Lots of pictures.
Yeah, lots of pictures. I
You
may
use an
ask
app
them-
to upload those, or you just keep on your phone?
We do, yeah.
Yep.
Company cam is what we use. Yeah.
Okay.
Great tool. You can like circle stuff on it right in the moment.
Yeah.
Show them everything.
That's great.
If the walk up attic is even better, because then they often walk up with me and I can show them like, this is what I'm looking at.
Oh,
this is what I see, and I'll ask, what do you think?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great thing. The open-ended question. What?
Yeah.
Doesn't look good, Tim.
Yeah. You're missing a bunch of deck boards right there, and you can see the nails just sitting in nothing. What do you think is? What do you think?
But that's great though, because you're showing I clearly need this roof.
Yeah.
So if there was any question,
Exactly.
or I thought this was a simple repair,
Yeah.
like no, we need this thing.
And this comes back to, I don't want to sit down with them and have it come up like, oh, this other guy mentioned this. I'm like, oh, I didn't even.
Right.
I don't want to be that guy. I want to make sure I see everything.
Yeah.
So I can be the most competent.
Absolutely.
That comes to their door.
Yeah. All right. So you're taking all this information,
Yeah.
and then maybe Mrs. Jones isn't with you, so you got to get her attention. You come down. I guess you've made notes on an inspection sheet, or do you do it on a tablet, or when all this stuff, or are you just taking pictures and you're going to verbalize it?
I'm taking pictures and I'm going to verbalize.
Okay, very good. So you sit down, and then, Miss Jones, can we sit down? Walk me through what those next few steps look like, what that conversation looks like.
Yeah, so at that point, I'm opening up the binder. I tell them I'm going to walk through what it's like to work for our company.
Yeah.
I'm going to explain what it looks like on the day of, and then I'll explain our options, and then I'm going to leave you the price.
Okay.
And
So, but like, do you go through how the construction of the roof looks?
Yes.
Yeah. So how do you explain, what you guys do versus what others may or may not do, right?
Yeah, I think one differentiator in our market is that a lot of roofers don't have a project manager on site all day.
Yes.
They may have somebody go there in the morning and in the afternoon, but we have somebody on site who's there. I tell him he's responsible for communication with you.
Yeah.
So you know what's going on. He's responsible for safety if you need to get in and out of the house for any reason, or the safety of the crew. And he's also responsible for quality.
Yeah.
At the end, he's going to be responsible for cleanup.
Yeah.
As well. So he's your person. He's going to be there all day long. A lot of roofers will just give an address to a crew, and that's it. And
That's
send
it.
the materials there. So
Yeah.
I try to kind of mention that.
Sure.
Right.
Sure. How about ventilation? How much time do you spend educating them on the value of ventilation and why we prioritize it? Is that a conversation at that point?
Oh yeah, it comes up a lot, and it really depends if they have a great, modern house with great ventilation. I don't talk about it a lot. I talk about how their ventilation is good and why I'm not going to talk about it.
But at least you explain it's important.
Yeah, but then I move on quickly if they have great ventilation.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a It's really, I feel like it's getting easier.
Yeah.
More roofers are aware of it, so more roofers are having conversations about it.
Conversation.
At first, it was maybe a differentiator, but we were also kind of the only ones talk about it, I felt
Yeah.
like. So it was people, like the other guy said we didn't need this. Two other guys came in and they didn't mention ventilation.
Yeah.
Like, so that was a little bit tougher, but now it's getting a little bit more common. So
Do you at that point, when you're doing, okay, actually, let me back up. What other things are you saying about your company, maybe during this part of the presentation?
yeah, so I love to
Differentiate
talk about my wife.
Okay.
So, my wife owns a company.
Yeah.
It's actually, so you should know this, it's actually 100% owned by her. I don't actually own the company.
Yeah.
So I say it's 100% women owned. She owns the company.
Yeah.
Sometimes I call her a badass. Like I say, make jokes like I'm just cheap labor, and people laugh at that stuff. Trying to bring some humor to it.
Yeah.
We have a little page that shows the employees that we work for, and this is the people. This is
That's
when
great.
we talk to Amanda on the phone when you called in, so they're putting a face to
So it
names.
makes it personable.
Yeah.
You're not buying just a roof, you're buying a relationship with these people.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, this is Mike. This is Eric. These are our project managers. You'll see one of those two here, or maybe both. So they kind of get an idea of who they're working with.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
How about like guarantees? Obviously, that's got to be a big differentiator. So what are your guarantees? How do you
Yeah.
talk
So we
about
use
those?
the CertainPath guarantees. So we have the no blame game.
Yeah.
Guarantee. We have the workmanship. I guess is what it's called. The 100% satisfaction, and the apples to apples. So we have a page. It's just like the one in CertainPath.
Yeah.
I go through all four of those.
Yeah.
And then the very next page, I get to the options that we offer. And then one of the main things that I talk about with our three options is how those guarantees differ, the warranties differ. And
Right. Do you have a conversation at any point about, there's certain things that control costs, right? And there's certain things I can't control, like code. And then there's certain things that you can control, which are the quality materials you want. Is that something?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell myself a little bit. I was doing that very well for a while.
Yeah.
I haven't been doing it as well lately. Yeah.
You're too straightforward. Yeah. But there is value in that, right?
Definitely. Yeah. So I think it's the same sheet from the CertainPath presentation booklet. There's a lot of factors we can't control. The size of your roof, the pitch of your roof. There's certain code requirements we have to meet.
Yep.
But you can choose the quality of your materials. We have 3 options. I'll go through those options. You can choose between them. That kind of stuff. You can choose the roofer that you choose. The quality of roofer that you want. Yeah.
Right. How about in terms of when you start talking down about the types of materials they want and like types of underlayment and stuff like that? Is that a discussion at this point, or do you explain the different types of materials they can choose from, the premium versus the bare bones contractor grade? Is that at this point too?
Yeah. So I will, before I get into the options, I will talk about ice and water membrane.
Yep.
And explain to them what it is and how it works.
Right.
And why it's important and where it goes, so that when I get to the options, I don't have to explain it again. They already know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. How about gutters? Do you guys include those too, or build that as part of the system?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we do gutters, gutter guards.
Gutter guards.
We try to put that on every estimate if possible. I mean, sometimes people have brand new gutters, and so we're not going to sell them on gutters.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Okay.
It's a really easy way to increase your ticket.
Absolutely.
Nice. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, gotta have gutters.
Yeah. I mean, it's really important. Yeah.
That's absolutely.
And if you do a brand new roof, people never look at their roof.
Yeah.
But then when you redo the roof, they're looking at it, and now they're going to see the dents and dings in their gutters.
Beat up gutters.
If you do siding, putting back some old gutters is going to stick out. So
Yeah.
it's really easy to sell gutters with siding too.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. So when you have your options, like so you said you kind of build your estimate out before you went because you knew the size of the roof, right?
You knew the size of the
You knew
roof.
the size, but then you have everything written. You write out your estimates, and you said you just started doing that, right? The 3 options instead of versus emailing it. You were emailing it.
Yeah. So we were doing 3 options, but we were still emailing it in 2024 and early 2025.
Right.
And then we started doing the in-home with the 3 options at some point in 2020.
Yeah.
So I don't write out the estimates though,
Okay.
because I'm going to the house and I'm verifying the number of layers. I'm verifying that what they want, what I measured and estimated is what they want. Maybe they wanted a shed or didn't want a shed, or they didn't want this roof or that roof. So I'll make sure I can tweak the estimate on my phone in real time.
Yeah.
Or we have all of our office people are trained on updating estimates.
Okay.
So we can call in if we don't have signal to do estimating, but we have phone signal. We can call into the office and they can make adjustments for us. Hey, can you add a second layer? Can you add a chimney? There's 3 pipe booths instead of 2. All these things that affect price, we can make those changes.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't write out the estimate first. I just have the numbers
Got it.
ready.
Right.
And what I like to do, and I don't think all of our sales guys do this, but what I like to do is fill out the information right in front of them. You have a little page that has their name and address and phone number.
Yep.
A little section that shows like what's included, what's not included. So I'll say, okay, I'm including these things right here. I'm not including replacement of the skylight. You said you weren't sure if you wanted to do it.
Yep.
I recommend you do it. But in case you don't want to, here's the price.
Yeah.
And then I'm writing out. So we have 2 prices. We have our price. We have like the monthly price if they want to finance.
Price.
And then we have a cash discount price below that.
Nice.
So I'm writing out the price first. So you'll see the higher number. And then I'm writing down the cash discount price after that. So they can say, oh, that what a relief. That's $2,000 cheaper or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take a check today.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So as you walk down those options, though, you are making a point to take things away, right? So you said
Yes.
that top option.
Yep. Top
It's
option.
got everything.
Yep.
But like the psychology for people watching or listening to this that are still trying to figure this out, there's a psychology. Hey, top option, you get all the stuff. But as I go down, well, we talked about that. Well, you're not going to, with this, you won't get that, right? But it's cheaper. But yeah, you won't get that.
Yeah. I think I've only recently started doing that.
Okay.
So I started doing the way I would present as I would build up how a roof is made.
Yeah.
Right. I would describe everything that goes into a roof.
Yeah.
And then that fit very well with our cheapest option.
Yeah.
It's like, this is what I just described to you. This is our cheapest option. And then I would start adding to it. And I think people most often were choosing the middle option, I found, or they were deciding between the middle and the low. So in 2026, I flipped it.
Yeah.
And so now I'm doing the more expensive one first, and I'm taking away. And I'm talking more about benefits and features than I was before.
Yeah.
It's been very helpful. Both of those things have been very helpful.
Sure.
Yeah, and taking away, exactly.
Yeah, that's the psychology. Yeah. How many? So you showed that first financing question. You guys have other financing options, or do you just have like? So you're showing probably what longest term?
I am. Yeah, the cheapest monthly payment is the one I'm writing down. Yeah.
So, but will you have other options? So maybe you get someone that wants to do, same as cash. You know.
Yeah, we have the 6 months, same as cash.
Right.
We have a 15-month deferred interest.
Okay.
option. I explain those to them.
Do you explain those all at that time, or only if they start pushing back on, the broken down price?
Yeah,
How do
so-
you deploy it?
I should have mentioned that. I bring it out earlier in the presentation. I
Yeah.
pull out our one-pager sheet that has it all, and I say, by the way, here's our financing options.
Okay.
Are you interested in financing? They usually say no, but okay, well, here's if you wanted to look at it.
Yeah.
We have some options that are.
That's the second time you planned the financing sequence.
Yeah.
Well, you said it earlier. You're
Yep.
doing now. That's great.
I will often mention this one is cool because it's no interest and no payments
Right.
for 6 months. You can get the roof now.
So even if you're the proud guy that's like, I don't need financing. Well, hell, I can keep the money in the market. Yeah,
Exactly.
it's not a bad
Exactly.
tool.
Or
Close.
we were planning on getting a HELOC
Yeah.
later. This was perfect. Or we really need the roof because it's got a hole in it, but we don't have the money right now. There's all kinds of reasons why 6 months should be beneficial.
I mean, what's your average roof replacement? Like, what's the
Average ticket price?
Yeah, average ticket.
I think it was 21,000.
21,000.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people that have 21,000, but maybe not in a checking account that day.
Yeah.
Right. And they're too proud to say that.
Sure.
But they can transfer it over from a brokerage account
Mhm.
and have it. But you give them that 0% financing, and like, now I don't have to feel like I can't afford it when I can.
Yeah.
So
I'm always surprised at how many people actually just write a check or
Yeah.
have cash,
Yeah.
which is crazy. I think I maybe finance 2 or 3 roofs a year.
is that right?
It's not a big part.
That's interesting.
Maybe
Everything
everything's-
seems to be like that because there's
It's weird.
some other really good roofing members, and then they go, yeah, we just don't do a lot of financing.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't know. Maybe you guys are all just putting it under mattresses or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. So I mean, I'm sure they don't all just close right away, right?
No.
There's some pushback, right?
Yep.
Oh man, Tim, I know these 3 out. It's still a lot of money. I need to think about it. How do you handle? I want to think about.
Well, I'll be blunt. I need to work on my objection handling.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, I try to relate to them.
Yeah.
I totally understand. I don't usually make decisions right away either. Or if you're getting multiple estimates, yeah, I totally get it. You should definitely get multiple estimates.
Yeah.
I start by just relating to them. That's
Sure.
the first thing I say is.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you get any situations where you have the both decision makers with you, where they can't agree on what they want? You're like, oh, I'd rather the top roof, but the husband's like, we don't need that. Do you ever run into those situations?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So what do? Do you just kind of sit back and let them duke it out, or what? How do you handle situations?
Yeah, I let them duke it out. I just I stay out of it. If they ask me direct questions, I'll answer.
Yeah.
Which they often do, but
Yeah.
clarifying questions. What am I really getting for this? Or is this really going to be the best?
Right.
And so I'll just kind of ask questions back to them.
Right.
Instead of saying, yeah, this is the best one for you, I say, well, what are you looking for? I could go back to, like you said before, that you were looking at
Right.
staying here for another 30 years. Do you want to replace the roof again?
Right.
Do you want it to last?
Right. Do you get a lot of people that want specific brands of roofing material, or not
Yeah.
too much? Do you?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah. It's not a big deal, but it does happen.
Yeah.
Right.
How about? I'm sure you've not always the first bid.
Actually, one more
Yeah,
point
go
on
ahead.
that. I went to an estimate where they had 11 estimates or something like that, which was bad news. Like,
Yeah.
we ended up winning it, and I really wish we hadn't.
Hadn't? Yeah.
But I don't know, 9 out of the 10 other estimates besides ours had the same shingle brand. So
Okay.
every single one was telling about how great this one is and how awesome this one is. And so we ended up winning it, and then they wanted that brand, and so I was like, okay, whatever. Like,
We'll figure it out.
yeah, but I really wish we hadn't won that one. But
Sometimes those are people like, I really don't want
if
to.
there's 11 estimates, you need to walk away. Like,
That project manager is going to have a day.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You're going to
And
enjoy that person.
It's been a year and a half. It's
Yeah.
been still dealing with that one. So.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Am I? But I'm glad you brought that up, because that you're not there's probably plenty of circumstances where you maybe have 2 bids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And will you ask that early in the sales process? Have you had anyone look at this?
Oh yeah, I definitely want to know how many estimates have you gotten so far? Where are you in the process?
Yeah.
How many more do you have coming? And then after I present them the price, I'll ask, how did I compare? Like, where do I stand versus those other roofers? And that's what they'll tell me if I was thorough or not. They'll tell me where I land. They don't always tell me the price. Some people just bring out the estimates and show me, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I get to see how other roofers do it and where I landed.
Will you
but
break them down then?
Yeah, I just ask them, like, where do I? Yeah, I'll break down the estimate for them.
Right.
I've done comparisons. Like, there's a roofer in our area who is pretty consistently like $5,000-$6,000 cheaper than everybody else for not a very expensive job. It's like we don't understand where he's coming up with these prices.
Well,
He doesn't even put any shingle brand on his estimate. It just says architectural shingles. So it's like it's easy to discredit him and like his materials. Like, you have no idea what you're getting with this roof. But people still go with him. Like, he's winning really cheap roofs. So
Probably won't be in business very long, but
we kind of theorized that maybe he just needs $100,000 a year, and that's all he's going for, and he's just kind of
it's just a one-man kind of situation.
Yeah,
He's the one running 7 days a week, 16-hour days.
yeah, definitely, yeah. So, by the way, on your point on shingle brands, in the first year, we just rolled over for anybody. If they wanted something, we didn't know anything. We're like, yeah, we'll just whatever you want, we'll give you that shingle.
Yeah.
And so if we had like every single brand in our tiny little shop warehouse, it was way too much. So in 2024, I think it was like, okay, we gotta stop saying yes to this. We still kind of did it a little bit. Our production manager that we hired in late 2024 was like, no, we're not doing this anymore. We're sticking to the brands. And every once in a while we'll make an exception.
Yeah.
But
I would say most homeowners have no idea.
that's true. Yeah.
I mean, I really don't. I think in any of these trades, people don't. I mean, there's the 3%. Like we say, there's 3%.
Yeah, the data home.
3% of the world's crazy. 3% of people are going to want a specific type of shape. I just like, are you going to keep water out of my house? Are you going to do a good job installing it?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I think when it comes down, like the top line shingles, there's very little difference between them. They're all very well made. They're heavy. They're substantial. It's more about the installation and the warranties and the guarantees. And do you trust the person that's going to put them on? Yeah.
Now, I know you say your wife owns the business, but they know that you know the wife real well. Will you ever get hit up for, Tim, it's your business. You can knock off a few $1,000, right? Come on. I'm sure if you had that situation.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So how do you handle that?
Yeah, I had some people like, oh yeah, we knew the owner. Come on, you can't give us the former owner. You can't give us an extra $1,000 off.
Yeah. So how do you defend that?
No, so we try to offer fair prices. We're not going in really high and then knocking things down. We offer a good price. This is our price, and we do give discounts for veterans.
Okay.
That's
good.
Senior citizen, but they have to ask for it because I'm not gonna just give you. I don't want to offend somebody.
Right.
Who's not quite a senior citizen yet. Or whatever.
Sure.
And then a sign discount if they're on a very busy road and they're willing to keep the sign out for all summer,
then
or all year, or whatever. I say, hey, you keep the sign out all year, I'll give you an extra $250.
That's
if you're on a busy road. We love it. So, yeah.
That's really smart. I like that. But yeah, other than that, maybe it's a financing discussion. Well, you circle back to that again, right?
Yeah,
if they start asking for that extra,
yeah.
Okay, very cool. All right. Let's say it's a job you don't win. It happens.
Don't win?
Yeah, you don't win the job. They're like, I really do want to get a few more bids. Okay, you only push so much. You don't take it as a guy getting thrown out of houses. You don't strike me as that type.
Yeah, no, I push, but I don't demand. It's not like
for sure.
Yeah.
So how do you set the expectation with them? How you will follow up?
So we offer to, okay, you're getting some more bids. When are they coming in? Next week? Okay, great. So I'd love to sit down with you and review those bids. And by the way, we have the apples to apples comparison. If somebody gives,
so you want to try to get back in the house?
Yeah,
great.
And I want to get back in the house. I want to talk to them again, and I want to see the other bids.
Yeah.
That's all good information for me too. So
yeah, how frequently will you get back in the house versus not?
Or a phone call? Yeah, I'd say most people are open to it, especially if you're thorough and you have good rapport with them, and they kind of feel like you're a trusted advisor. Because we often say things in the home like, whether it's with us or not, we're just here to help you make the best decision for your family. We try to pep our lines in like that, like so that they're not defensive. It's like, I'm not here to push you. I'm here to help you make the best decision. Here's our best offer. Here's our best foot forward.
Yeah.
And if you need help making that decision, we're here for you too. We can help you look at the other bids. So we're trying to set that expectation that we're there to help them.
Absolutely.
Right? So
Push
there's been a lot of situations where I've taken 2 bids and just gone line by line with them and say, you don't know what you're getting here. Why are they charging you for this? Like, what's going on with that? Here's where we're different. Here's what we're offering. They don't even mention this. So
will you set the appointment in the home right there, or will you say I'll call because maybe they don't know when they're going to have the other bid come in, right?
Right, because they don't know if they're going to get it in that day or if it's going to be an emailed quote a week later, right?
Right.
We don't know.
So do you try to schedule it then, or you
If you can, but it can be hard. So because they just sat with you for an hour and a half and they got more estimates coming that they really want to.
Right.
So it can be sometimes. I think a lot more often than not, it's a phone call.
Yeah. So if it is phone call, which is more natural and more frequent, do you say I'm going to call you in 2 days? I'll call you tomorrow, a week?
Yeah, depending on when those estimates are coming in. I'll call you on Thursday. You said your last appointment's on Wednesday. I'm going to call you on Thursday.
Okay. All right. Now, how many times will you call before you're like, okay, this is just a lost?
Yeah, if they don't answer on that day, I might call one more time or text or something. Some people prefer texting, so but after that, it's like, okay, they obviously liked the other person more.
Right.
So
okay. All right. No more negativity. You closed the job. You won the job.
Yeah.
Everyone's feeling good.
Great.
How do you, people are probably like, holy cow, it's a lot of money. But, how do you make them feel good before you're out the door? That they're not just focused on spending $25,000.
Yeah. This is
on a non-sexy
super important.
purchase, right?
Yeah. So you want to make them, you don't want them to have buyer's remorse. Right?
Exactly. You don't want to cancel.
And the time between, we don't have a lot of cancels.
That's great.
Fortunately, like almost none. And it's for...
because you guys are running the system.
Yeah, exactly.
They see the value.
It's only because like someone just sold their house and like, I'm not doing the roof anymore. It's not because they didn't like us.
Yeah.
So in the moments after the sale, I want them to feel good about the amount of money they just gave me. I also want them to feel good about the whole process and the actual installation.
Right.
So I explain what's going to happen next.
That's right.
I make sure they understand who's going to be reaching out to them next, what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
And we have a scope of, if I sign them in the home, we have a scope of work document.
Yep.
It says, hey, I'm going to fill out the sheet. It's got all of your information. It's got all the things that you were concerned about. I'm going to draw a diagram of your house. It's going to show all the things we're doing and what we're not doing. If you have any other concerns, I'm going to write them down right here so that when the project manager is here, he knows everything. And then at the end, you're going to sign it and I'm going to sign it and you're actually going to hold on to it so that it's like a way for them to we're all on the same page. They know exactly what's going to happen. They know that I'm communicating all of their needs to the rest of the team.
Right.
And while I'm filling it out, it gives me an opportunity to build rapport. Oh, you said you have a son in Seattle. How does he like it? How often do you go out there? Do you visit him? So I'm asking more questions. I don't let any dead space. I'm still continuing to build rapport.
Yep.
So they still feel good.
Use that tension from the buying decision.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so the last thing I want is, just walk out the door and they start to get an uneasy feeling and that kind of builds and the resentment. Now they haven't heard from us in a week and then what's going on. And then we get there and, some minor thing happens and it's a big deal.
Yeah.
As opposed to if you make them feel good and they find a nail on the roof, they're like, it's okay. Like, it was great anyway. They did everything else. So how they feel about the installation can start with the call and how you leave them and how you leave their expectations. So I want to make sure they're not stewing or confused or in the dark.
Right.
That they are clear on what's happening next. And I'm staying in the house a little bit longer after that check is filled out so that it's not just like, thanks, see you later.
See ya. Yeah. All right, so the roof goes on in a few weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
The project manager's on site.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is he collecting the check, the second check, or you come back?
Generally not.
Okay.
Some people write it for him right there, but it doesn't really happen that often. Repairs, it's more common for them to just pay right at that moment. But we have a final walkthrough.
Okay, you do final walkthrough.
Yeah, so we're also bringing as sales guys, we're bringing our magnet out there and kind of walking around to see.
Nice. And it's the sales guy who does it.
Yeah.
Like that one more connection.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
It's a chance to ask for a review. It's a chance to ask for referrals.
Yeah.
And it's a chance to, once again, make them feel good so that in a few weeks, if something comes up, they're not like, they're like, okay, Tim's got me. He's going to respond. They feel comfortable I'd rather have them reach out with an issue than just kind of stew on it and write a bad review or like, you know what I mean? So,
We'll make it right too. Yeah.
yeah. So it's really good interaction. It's hard to do actually.
Yeah.
It's hard to go out and do that final walkthrough because you're worried that they're gonna bring up issues and say bad things. It's like I don't really want to do this. It's like it's actually a hard thing to do. I think.
Yeah.
To do that final walk around and to schedule that, but 100% necessary.
Yeah. But at least you find if there's an issue, you can make it.
Yeah.
Address it at that point.
Exactly, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You still don't want to like.
I get it. But I think
It's
sometimes
hard to do.
you get best reviews or referrals from you screwed up, but we fixed it right away.
Yeah.
Because it shows that you're like you stand on your word and you're
Mm-hmm.
going to do that because it's there's enough companies that don't do that.
Funny you say that. I had some of my highest close rates were the appointments I was late for,
Is that right?
and I was like, oh, well, every time I'm gonna be late, I call them and tell them I'm gonna be late, and I start building rapport. And before that, back in 2023, 24, I wasn't even meeting with them half the time. I wouldn't call people on the way.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I need to call everybody
I was going to say, you
when I'm
calling
on their way.
everybody now?
So yeah, that was like the moment where I realized,
Yeah.
on time or not, no matter what, I'm calling people
Yeah.
when I'm on my way. Just, it's a good confirmation that they're going to be there and not wasting my time. But it's also like starting that rapport building right away.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
Uh,
Very cool. All right. So then you ask, you're doing the final walkthrough. They're happy. Everything's went well.
Mhm.
You ask for the Google 5-star review. Let's say, Mrs. Jones, would you mind? I guess that's just that conversation.
yeah, I mean, it's that conversation. Hey, we're a small company. Reviews help us a lot. Would you mind giving us a review on Google
Yeah.
or your preferred platform? Usually it's Google, but
I love it.
yeah.
Just a couple wrap-up questions. And thank you so much for all your time. This has been a lot of fun. So what's this experience been like these last 3 years? I mean, I thought we were just going to talk about sales. I didn't realize all that your journey has entailed in such a short period of time. So when you look back to that point when Sasha first bought the company to today, what comes to mind?
It's so much, we talk about it a lot, and no matter how stressful it was in that first year, we wouldn't change it. So
Yeah. It's been a heck of a ride.
yeah.
How excited are you guys for your future?
So excited.
I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, all these things you're putting into place,
Yeah.
it seems to be coming together.
So the last 2.5 years, what I've been doing with sales and training salespeople and managing projects has taken priority.
Yeah.
Because it's what we needed in that moment. We needed to make the money. We needed to have the roof sales. We needed to get the projects done.
Yeah.
But now that we have a team in place, I'm trying to step back a little bit more. And Sasha is going to she's really focused on growing the business and being an owner and managing people.
Yeah.
And so that's structure. That's where we see our future, is that she's the one that's her focus. Her work is going to be the more important work going forward. And I'm happy to let her hear that. I'm excited for her to see what she can do.
That's great. And so 6.5 is a goal this year.
Yes.
6. Where do you guys have you put a 5-year goal or plan in place?
Yeah, she wants I don't know if it's 5 years or less than that, but she wants 10 million and then more and beyond. So
What do you think it's going to take to get you guys there? Just more structure, or
I think we need to. So the sales manager is a big step.
Yeah.
Improving our close rates. On the sales team. Yeah, I think that's going to be a huge step. And then elevating our margins, it'll be another step. Making sure our production is there. And her focusing as the owner, me stepping back is really good. What's kind of
running the business.
Yeah.
How CertainPath played a part in this journey for you?
Oh my God, we had no idea what we're doing. We were. I mean, the guy we bought it from was a terrible teacher, as I've kind of given some examples. He did not teach us anything. He told us that the best way to make money is to wear as many hats as possible. And we're like, no thanks. We want to give away these hats. We'd rather take a smaller piece of a larger pie. So a lot of bad advice. Didn't know anything what we were doing. CertainPath, I mean, it's just like you implement one thing, 2 things, 3 things that you learn here, and it's crazy how quickly you can start to see the transformation. And just knowing what the right hire is, talking to other roofers about what they have is
I was going to ask.
invaluable.
Like this.
Yeah, exactly. The coaches are great. And the other roofers are really
It's a fun group.
Yeah.
The roofers, it's one of our smaller groups, but it's a great group of people. We've got some members that have been with us for roofing them 10, 15, 20. They're just awesome people. It's a great, a lot of that Northeast area too for you, a lot of good nearby.
Yeah,
know
so
what
we go out to other roofers who are not outside of our market, and we just we kind of brainstorm with them. And
Yeah.
one of them is trying to get to 10 million right now, so we're getting ideas from them.
Yeah.
They're closer than we are, but it's like
That's what I love for this trades, and it's just everyone's so open. Most people are very open to helping. So, anyways, well, Tim, this was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed chatting with you. I can't thank you enough for your time. Thank you, sir.
yeah. Thank you very much for having us.
My pleasure.
The Successful Contractor podcast is a part of the CertainPath family. CertainPath builds successful home service businesses and has for more than 25 years. We do it by providing contractors with a proven path to success, professional coaching, software solutions, and a member community of more than 1,000 home service companies just like yours, doubling your sales with a 20% net profit and an inspiring company culture really is possible. Let us show you the way. With CertainPath, success is made certain. Visit mycertainpath.com for more information.